Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nikki and today I have some exclusive StealthShampoo first look Battleborn multiplayer gameplay footage. This is going to be a 5v5 on the game mode Meltdown. The map is Paradise and I'm going to be playing Ambra in this multiplayer match. First off, let me break down for you guys the team compositions that'll be going into this match. Similar to MOBAs that you guys may be familiar with, Battleborn has 25 different heroes for you to choose from, each with their own unique skill set and abilities that you can use on the battlefield. I will be playing Ambra today. She is a support, and if you look at her statistics right off the bat, you are not going to be very impressed with them. They are roughly correct, of course. Things may change in the final game build, but she has 1 point of health, 2 points of power, 1 range, 3 speed. Now the thing is, she is a support. My job as Ambra is to make sure my teammates are healthy by putting sunspots down on the ground, healing them up, using my solar wind. Ambra's got a great amount of CC to help keep the enemies away from my team, and we're going to go into her more in depth in just a little bit. But let me talk about my other teammates. We have an Oscar Mike on the team, 2 health, 4 range, 4 power, 4 speed, and he is an attacker. He's the other character I actually played at 2K headquarters quite a bit. He has some stealth-based abilities and is mainly going to be slaying on the field, making sure that the enemy team isn't pushing up. We have Montana also on the field. He's a defender with 5 health. He's going to be the tank of the team. 3 power, 3 range, and 1 speed. So his job is to soak up bullets and put them down range. He's got a minigun. He's going to want to be taking people out. Caldarius is the final attacker on our team, and he is obviously much more mobility based, with only 2 health, 2 range, but 4 power and 5 speed. Last but not least on the squad, we have Melka with 2 health, 5 power, 3 range, and 4 speed. She's going to be slaying the enemy team alongside Caldarius and Oscar Mike, or at least those are their roles. Montana's going to be soaking up the damage, and I'm going to be trying to keep the team alive. But as you can tell in this gameplay, which is, I think, some of the best Ambra gameplay you guys will see, I am going to do everything. My team, unfortunately, is not going to be landing the kills in this match, so I'm going to take it upon myself to do literally everything to try to keep our team in the fight. My biggest threat in this upcoming match, keep an eye on him, is Wrath. He has 2 red swords, a melee-based character with 1 health and 1 range, but 4 power and 5 speed. He's going to be a slayer, and he's going to be trying to chop down my team as I try to keep him alive. And basically, we're the only 2 really good players in this match. You're going to want to keep an eye between me and him going back and forth, trying to take map control and trying to get their team up on the field and get some points on the board. The roles in Battleborn aren't so hard set that you're only going to have to support and not be able to kill. As you can tell in this gameplay, I'm going to get a ton of kills with Ambra, and in this match, I'm going to basically be doing all of my teammates' jobs as Ambra, the support, while still trying to heal everyone up. Once again, the game mode we will be playing is called Meltdown, and I think the game can explain it better than I can.
Meltdown. Earn points by guiding your minions to designated incinerators and destroy enemy minions before they reach their own. The bigger the minion, the more points you'll earn by sacrificing it. The first team to reach 500 points achieves victory.
The other guys will be killed!
As you can tell, as you level up, this is the Helix menu, and at each level you can choose one of 2 different abilities to help your character out. Right there, I chose to upgrade my solar wind to do a little bit of extra damage. Moving out here, we are going to spawn in on the map Paradise. I'm playing Ambra, once again a support character, and she has a great amount of CC. My abilities, other than solar wind, are Sunspot, which will allow me to not only damage enemies that are near it, but heal my teammates. And Extinction Event is my ultimate, which is unlocked at level 5. Going into the action here, those are the areas right there in the middle of the map where minions will be running to in order to score points. Here's Wrath, who I was talking about earlier. He was already starting to bully my Montana around, so I'm going to try to help him out by pushing Wrath in front of Montana so he can start getting shots in. I'm going to fall back right here. I do not want to be directly into the fray, but I will try to heal Montana right here with a sunspot. He unfortunately walks too far away from it and it gets slaughtered by Wrath. I'm going to put down some more sunspots. There can be 3 of these up at a time, and it looks like an enemy just walked into 2 of them. I'm going to use my wind right here, start pushing him back. Unfortunately, Ambra has very, very little range, and if I want to use a base attack, I have to get up close and personal with the melee. Securing a kill right there as Ambra is going to give me a nice little boost to the next level in terms of XP. Putting down another sunspot right here, trying to focus down this enemy who is over here on the alpha objective. This is Thorn right here. I actually played her as well in single player. She has no shields and a good amount of health regeneration. She's very, very quick and requires precise aim to use her bow to take me down. Right here, I get blinded. I'm not sure who on the other team did that to me, but I unfortunately was unable to see for just a moment and managed to escape. Wrath, once again, has been detected near alpha objective right over here. I see a couple enemies who are weak, so I'm going to move in and do my best to try to take him out. Here's my wind right here, pushing Wrath back so he can't melee me. He's really low health and wants to retreat, but unfortunately for him, I'm able to melee down the melee slayer. I once again have leveled up, but to use the Helix, you're going to have to go to a safe area to choose your augmentations. I do have enough shards here to pick up my cognitive accelerator, which reduces my cooldowns, but will unfortunately reduce my primary attack damage. That is part of my gearbox. Your gearbox is not usable at the beginning of the game, and you're going to need to unlock shards to activate your gearbox abilities. They're kind of like loot drops that you can gain from Borderlands. As you see, the green ones are uncommon. Those are things that I have found, or I guess was given to me at the beginning of the 2K briefing, and I decided to put them on my character for unlocking in the match. And here we go, sapping away Thorn's health. That's one of Ambra's abilities, is I am able to actually steal life from my opponents. Thorn is super low, but I decided not chase her down there. Unfortunately, our Montana right here has overextended and is going to go down in just a moment. But before he does, I'm going to try to take down Thorn. Montana absolutely did not notice Thorn was right next to him, so I managed to take her down using my staff. Right here, I'm going to be taking Blood Drive, which will increase the amount of health that I will be able to steal from my enemies. And right here, I believe this guy is a little bit more of a tanky character, and I managed to sap his life away and secure yet again another kill. My job on the team is to heal people and CC enemies away from my team to areas where they can't hurt us or our minions. And I am actually just going in and stomping for kills right now because I am out-leveling my teammates. Here's Wrath once again. I'm going to try to steal his health. He did avoid my sunspot right there, but I'm going to cast another one right on top of him, and I am going to push him away with my wind. He unfortunately gains a little bit of shield there using one of his abilities, and I'm going to back off and call my teammates for some help. I do not want to try to fight him one-on-one. I'm a support, he's a slayer, and he could very easily take me out of the fight. Now, if you guys didn't notice in the bottom left, the shields work as you are familiar with in Borderlands. The health, the green bar, is going to be regenerated by these sunspots that I put down on the ground that will also hurt my opponents. Right here, we have some enemy minions trying to get into the incinerator. I'm going to try to knock them back, but unfortunately, there's some enemy players here who are going to try to take me down. I'm actually going to double back right here and try to get out of the fray, call my teammates in, and see if they can help. Here we go with a team fight. I did get an assist right back there. That's what you need to do as Ambra, is assist your teammates. Trying to sap some health as I'm blind right here, and we are in the middle of combat. Unfortunately, I do get tossed up in the air right there. I'm unable to move, and Wrath does come in and takes me out. Unfortunately, I just did not have the teammate support right there. Even though I was very, very close to our base, I couldn't call our guys over to help assist me back there. Anyway, on Helix 4, I'm actually going to hold my shards right here and not activate my regrowth pendant because I want my damage reduction, which is my middle piece of gear. I'm going to save some money for that. Helix 4, I'm going to decide to take Radiant Gale, which will help my Solar Wind knock enemies directly up. If I ever get in trouble and if I get meleeed by Wrath, I'll use that Solar Wind, toss him up in the air, and bail out of the area, or at least keep him at bay for long enough for my team to get over and assist me. Moving on over here to the right side of the map, we are going to close in on this weakened opponent right here. Unfortunately, even without any backup, I would have been able to take her down with a quick melee right here to the back. She is going to try to run away, but I'm going to use a sunspot to quickly cast it on her path, and that does a ton of damage, enough to take her out. Here's Wrath once again, coupled with a teammate of his. I'm going to take him down. That's going to secure me a double kill, and I am in a little bit of trouble. Wrath is attacking me. I do have my teammates right here to back me up. I'm going to back up for just a moment, try to get my teammates over here and my shield to regenerate, and I'm going to lifesteal Wrath right there, putting me on a 3-kill streak. And right here, here is my Radiant Gale, which I will be able to use to keep myself safe in future confrontations. Thorn over here on the right side of the map, battling one of my teammates. I'm going to use my Solar Wind to push her back away from my teammate, drop her aim. You can't aim as well with a bow and arrow, of course, if you're being juggled around by the wind. and I'm going to go ahead and take the kill with a life sap, and that is my extinction event unlocked. I have hit level 5, so I am now able to cast extinction event. It's a meteor that comes in from the air and will deal massive damage to anyone within the radius. Unfortunately, it does drop very, very slowly, giving my opponents time to get out of the blast. So what I have to do as Ambra is use my other 2 abilities to CC my enemies into the meteor or keep them distracted long enough so that it lands directly on their forehead. It also does damage over time after it hits the ground, which is going to be huge if I want to slay huge groups of enemies. Right here we do have minions coming in, and like you guys may have heard earlier, the bigger minions are worth more points, so I'm going to focus on taking out a couple minions here. My main focus is going to be trying to steal people's life, trying to heal my teammates. Someone else who is a little bit better at slaying should be taking care of the minions. Once again, we have Thorn overextending. I am starting to out-level the other team at this point. I am level 5. Unfortunately, my shields drop right here, and I'm going to need a backup out of the fight because several of the enemies are coming over here to try to take me down, including Wrath. I'm going to try to drop my extinction event on my feet as I'm being attacked, but unfortunately, I am taken down. Once again, right there, I had not a lot of backup. I did pick up my second gearbox ability, which is Turtle Guard Protective Resealant. That gives me a 16.47 damage reduction, depending on my amount of health left. And I felt that was a pretty good pick to take with a support-based character whose job is to keep people alive and heal people. Keeping myself alive will allow me to do that job just a little bit better. My last piece of gearbox is Regrowth Pendant, which will give me a little bit of health regeneration, which might be a little redundant because I can regenerate my own health using my sunspots. In fact, I'm going to drop a sunspot right here on Oscar Mike to try to hopefully heal him up. I can put 3 of those on the ground, and I can heal myself with those sunspots as well. I did get a level right there for an assist. My teammates are really beat up right here, so I'm telling them to fall back, hang out near my sunspots, and let me heal them. I'm actually saving the Solar Wind just in case anyone runs up on me. Solar Wind does heal my teammates as well, but I'm going to focus my sunspots on keeping my teammates alive. Here we go with an assist. I did do a little bit of damage to that enemy as well as heal the teammate who did get the finishing blow. So that is going to be assist on my part. That's exactly how you play Ambra, the support. And I am pushed up really, really far here. Luckily, Thorn did not see me coming in. And I see Wrath right there. He is extremely powerful, really, really slaying my team. And I'm going to need to back out of the situation in order to not get dropped by him. Drop some sunspots, trying to push him away. I'm calling Montana and Oscar Mike for help right here, but for some reason they're not turning around, and Wrath is just going to beat me down while I don't get any support back from my teammates, unfortunately. I did lose every single game I played. I played about 5 hours of this awesome game, and to be honest, the teams were pretty stacked, although could have been my fault because we did get to choose the side we sat on. I didn't really have any super hardcore competitive gamers like myself on my side of the desk, while on the other side of the desk we had Lene, Miss Vixen, we had Tess, who was really awesome. I spent a lot of time talking to her. She was really cool to hang out with, and the Haley baby. All very avid gamers. I'm not sure what the backgrounds of gaming of people were on my team, but I was really carrying every single round as I played at 2K a couple weeks ago. Anyway, I do catch an enemy off guard right here. Gonna toss him up with my Solar Wind and get the assist. I did manage to once again heal my teammate who secured that kill. And we do have another enemy who is greatly overextended over to my team's side. We do have a couple minions here as well. I'm going to cast my extinction event. That does have a pretty long cooldown. It is my ultimate, and that is going to drop a couple of the minions. I was hoping it would also drop the opponent who was over in that area, but it looks like he is no longer a threat. Moving in here, I'm going to jump into the middle of the map on Wrath. Really, really dangerous thing to do, although I do have full shields and full health, and I will be able to get the assist life sap right there, getting me up to level 7 now. I could upgrade right now, I could open up my Helix, but now is not a safe time to do so. If I were to do it right now, I would get beat up, considering that I am standing in the middle of the map. And in fact, I'll show you guys a little bit later in this gameplay why you need to use your Helix in safe areas on the map. I'm going to duck out right here because my shields have been depleted and I want to give them just a moment to regenerate. I'm going to toss this guy backwards right here using my Solar Wind and then use my Life Sap at range so I don't take any additional damage. We're going to drop an Extinction event right here, hoping that he stays in the area, but meanwhile I'm going to beat him a couple times with a staff and sap a little bit of his life. And this guy also decided to walk into my extinction event, did not see the super slow meteor descending from the sky, and I'm going to drop a sunspot right here, break in his shield, goes in right behind him, so there's no way he could have mitigated that damage, and I managed to get the kill also on that guy. And that's a double assist right there. Really starting to take enemies down. They are pushing up, gaining ground, making it so that my team can't advance right here to get our minions up in the fray. Of course, pushing minions forward will win you the match. I do have quite a few augments available at this point in the game, and I will need to upgrade those, but right now I'm focused on healing up my team. There's quite a few things you have to manage as you play Battleborn. You gotta know where your teammates are, how to heal them, you gotta get your gearbox in order, you gotta get your Helix in order. A lot of micromanaging you need to do with your character to play at maximum efficiency. I'm going to take down a couple of minions right here. These guys are pretty small and weak. They're not worth very many points, but I'm going to beat them down so that the enemy team doesn't continue to score. Once again, the score limit is 500, and my team is a little bit behind, so any minions that I kill are going to help close the gap. I did see a teammate go down on this side of the map, and this is exactly why you do not use your Helix in the middle of the map. I'm going to call it an extinction event, and unfortunately it does not do enough damage. It doesn't do as much damage as I thought it would. I'm going to back out, call my team for help. I do have quite a few enemies on my tail. Luckily, Montana, who just died over there on the left side, respawns, and I'm calling him for help. I'm going to put down a sunspot and try to heal myself. And the enemy team overextends into our spawn and starts getting mowed down by these turrets. Montana is also here to help me, and I managed to bait these enemies in an area that was less advantageous for them to fight. Earlier they would have got me. I was outnumbered, but I go, call for backup, and fight in a more advantageous area so that I can deal one-on-one with this guy right here. Gonna try to sap the rest of his life as he gets up to melee me with his sword and shield, and I land a nemesis kill right there. Landing quite a few kills, even though that's not my job. I am support, and I'm going to be trying to mostly keep my team alive, but I do have to fend for myself in this match because my teammates are not doing a good job of gaining ground. So after I heal myself up just a little bit, I do see Wrath sneak up behind one of my teammates, and I try to use Solar Wind to push him away from Montana, but Montana is just not paying attention. I'm going to call in an extinction event to hopefully drop any enemies that close in to this area. Wrath and Thorn are in this area very, very low. I'm going to secure a kill on Wrath. That's going to be the first one. I'm going to push Thorn back, juggler around. It's hard to aim that bow as you're flying around. I'm going to finish her off with the staff right here. Just a couple more hits is going to do it. That is going to put me on a 5 kill streak, and I have one more enemy to deal with in this area. Going to drop a sunspot right there. He's going to walk right into it. That's going to do some massive damage. My Solar Wind is off of cooldown. Toss him up in the air, and that is going to secure me a 6 kill streak as Ambra the support. I'm going to finish off a minion right there with a sunspot, seeing that my XP was really, really high, and finish off that shard right there, giving me a couple extra points. And I am ready to upgrade from levels 7 to 10. On 7, I choose the ability that transforms Ambra's staff into a spear. That's going to give me increased range, and if you were watching closely, the staff actually noticeably transforms. My Helix 8 ability was enemies damaged by sunspot are slowed. I have Helix 9 increased solar wind damage so I can push away Wrath a lot easier. And then Helix 10 extinction event knocks back enemies. Here's Wrath once again. I'm in a little bit of trouble. I'm going to need to back up. Was tossed up in the air right there. I'm going to try to drop an extinction event, but luckily someone else deters him away from finishing me off. I do have my extinction event ready, so I'm going to call it down right about here to help finish off this entire group of minions. The game is very close. We're 4-13 on the enemy team and 3-48 on my team. The Shepherd right here needs to get out of the way, and then I'm going to start dealing with my other opponents. Going in for the life sap, Ambra's only ranged ability, and going to try to finish off this enemy character right here. Toss a sunspot right on top of him for massive damage and finish off with the KO. That is going to bring me up to a 7 kill streak. I'm going to use my Solar Wind to push back Wrath right there, but he already dipped out of the situation. And I'm going to be able to back up, regroup with my team, and start patching him up. I'm going to put down another sunspot, tell Oscar Mike to go grab it, get a little bit of health. I'm not sure if he does it. Actually, he does go up and try to patch up that little sliver of health that he was missing. And here we have Thorn, very, very low on health. Wrath, pretty close behind her, though, and I do not want to deal with both of them at the same time. I am not a character who can take on 2 Slayers at once. So I'm going to try to keep my distance and CC them as best I can, using my Sunspot and Extinction Event coming down from the sky. That's going to connect with a little bit of a hit marker and scorch the area so that they will have a dangerous time entering there. Dropping a Sunspot right here to heal myself up before I get back into combat. My teammate did call me over there to the left, but I am unable to, unfortunately, help. Gonna drop a couple Sunspots there near the incinerator, though, to help CC the area. Montana is taking a ton of damage right now, and unfortunately is unable to stay up on his own. Gonna continue to heal myself up here. Right there, Oscar Mike just bought a turret, and that's going to help our team up just a little bit. That's what you spend your shards on. You can spend them on gearbox items or on turrets. Walking right into the sunspot right there, I am able to finish him off with a solar wind, and that is going to secure, once again, another kill. Gonna get back up here near my sunspot so I can continue to heal myself. Of course, being at full health before a confrontation is always helpful. And I do notice there is an enemy over here. That was Wrath, who just tossed my teammate up in the air. So I'm gonna help out my teammate with a little bit of solar wind, offset Wrath. Have a hard time stabbing me while you're flying around in the air. Put the sunspot down behind my teammates and try to hold this right side of the map and make one final push. Minions are going into the incinerator and the enemy team is scoring points. I'm going to do my best to try to prevent that from happening. As you can tell, the enemy team is pushed a little bit back on their side of the map, and I'm going to try to zone them a bit more with that sunspot. Unfortunately, I do get caught by Wrath right here. Going to push him back with the solar wind and call for help from my teammates, but I'm CC'd myself and no teammates were nearby me as I went to go check that middle part of the map. I'm going to run over to the enemy side near Montana, the defender. He's the tank, and ask him for help. Montana, once again, is the tank of the team and should be taking a majority of the damage while I heal him, but unfortunately, I'm thrown into combat myself. I try to take down Wrath right here. He's extremely low, and I just need the fire support from Montana to do it and a melee attack, but unfortunately, Montana turns around just a little bit too late, and I am taken down. I am doing a ton of assists though, and getting quite a few kills. Montana does not clean that up for me and goes down. I do not get the assist, and we're going to redeploy back onto the map. The game is coming to the end here, and the enemy team is just about to win. I'm going to dash in here to perhaps secure just one last kill for the scoreboard, and I do get in a confrontation with Wrath. I want to take the revenge. Unfortunately, right as I'm about to kill him, the game ends. And we lost. That was the closest game I played in my 5 hours that I got to play Battleborn. This was my first time playing the multiplayer, and the first time I believe anyone was to play the multiplayer. And I believe I got pretty good at it, considering that it was everyone's first time. A little bit of natural gaming skill coming in there. Briefly right here, you guys can see your command rank and your character rank that I was talking about in a previous video. And here is the scoreboard. 50 score, 17 kills, and 4 deaths, which is impressive from a support character who isn't really designed to be out there on the front lines getting the most kills. Best KD, 16 assists. That's what I need to do as the support, is assist my team. Second most shards. Didn't really farm shards too much, didn't have to. I got my entire gearbox really early. The second most minion kills as well. Was not too focused on the minions, considering some of my other teammates got some bigger guns to deal with those small little nuisances. One thing that the scoreboard does not mention that I feel like it should is the amount of healing that was done. I by far healed more than the rest of my team, considering that I'm the only one with healing abilities. Anyway, I'm going to go see my chiropractor. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure to leave the video a like if you guys want to see more Battleborn. Subscribe here on StealthShampoo. I'll have much more for you guys when the game drops in February. Thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all some other time.